coach, Mike Johnston, and their first since 2000 as Mike Johnston gets carried off.
There's a lot of passion, a lot of energy right now, and we are underway.
Katy kicking off. That'll be Aaron Luna fielding it at the 1. Takes it out to the 19. Of course, no huddle offense. That's the name of the game for Southlake. Daniel again looking. Trying to find Kit Gedwin, and he's wide open. And just like that, the Carroll Dragons strike first in the 5A Division II state championship. Garrett Hartley set to kick it off for Southlake Carroll. In 10:37 left in this first quarter. Did not take long at all. Deep into the end zone. They're going to try to bring it back. And Katy Tigers, don't go very far, folks. Looking for an answer after that first strike from Southlake Carroll. Johnson in the pocket. Dumps it out to Brian Thompson in the flats. Crosses the 20 to the 22-yard line. 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Aston making it inside the 50. That's the fullback, Brian Thompson. Very little, but he does pick up a couple.
Well, he's going to give a first down and talk
to the
about
45.
That.
They give him the mark at the 45.
Yeah, but that nice little second effort and spinning as after he got hit. Brian Thompson doing a nice job of spinning in the hole. Picks up that first down, and now you're starting to see a little bit of momentum build.
9-play drive so far for the Katy Tigers. This is what they like. Consume that clock time. 2nd and 6 now. Johnson keeps. Looks like he wanted to kick it out to James Aston, but he went nowhere. Todd Bondi and Bo Galbraith with the stop there for Southlake Carroll.
Well, Brian Thompson, the fullback, was the guy that picked up that first down on 3rd down. Be interesting to see what Ben Johnson's going to try to dial in and pick this one up here on this drive.
Johnson trying to find.
Wow, what a catch.
Drew Zeiler. Did he get his feet in bounds? Yes, he did.
Betcha.
What a catch by Drew Zeiler.
Randy, you talk about laying out. My goodness. That was really nice coverage by Southlake Carroll. And Drew Zeiler, very effective on the out routes and curl routes. You see him right there, and he goes out and catches that ball. What a fantastic catch that was.
Roy Scott in motion. Johnson handing. That's Aston outside. Shakes off Trevor Johnson. Picks up about 3 more after that.
Boy, look out, man. When James Aston gets the ball, we talked about him at the open, Randy. Close to 2,000 yards rushing. Obviously, he's over that.
Definitely in field goal range for Morden Beckendorf, their kicker. But they won't need him yet because James Aston powers his way inside the 20 for another Tiger first down. Katy looking to punch it in here and respond to the Dragons' first touchdown. That's Aston, and Aston is going nowhere. The stop by Todd Bondi, the defensive end for Southlake Carroll. Nice hustle, some help as well from Michael Agnew.
Swats the ball down before he can make that catch. That was a big-time play. Agnew has twice now in this series. He's coming up big.
All right, 3rd and 14. Again, the handoff. That is the fullback, Brian Thompson. He is swarmed by several Southlake Carroll Dragons. High kick. Good coverage down there from Katy.
Great special teams play.
Pickup of 6 on that play. 2nd and 4 now. Mark on the 10-yard line. Daniel again looking. Blitz coming. Gets protection.
Oh, wow, what a catch.
Somehow.
Oh. McKay Jacobson, Randy.
Jacobson makes that grab. How the heck did he get his hands on that football?
I don't know how he kept his balance after he got hit by the defensive back. That is a superb job of concentration. Now, again, you got to give credit to this Carroll offensive front line. They are giving Chase Daniel all kind of time. But take a look here at the catch. He almost shuts it down and lets the defender run right by him.
2nd and 9 now on the 37-yard line of Southlake Carroll. Daniel firing outside. That is Gedwin again. Brought down by Will Thompson. 3rd and 13. Daniel, shotgun again, looking. Pressure coming up from Katy. Daniel in trouble, has to throw it away. Great coverage on the pursuit by that Katy defense.
He certainly stepped it up and has had a big year.
3rd and 7 now. Shuffle past James Aston. Great call. Great moves right there from James Aston, right up the middle. Pete Phelps in there on the stop.
And he is making been chemotherapy, but he's still here calling the signals for the Dragons defense today. Quite a story and a lot of inspiration for Southlake.
Certainly is, and we wish him the best in his recovery. It's Ben Johnson finding Drew Zeiler, and he'll get inside the 25-yard line of Southlake Carroll on a first down play. So here's
Katy on the march.
Here's Katy again. First and 10 from the 24. Thompson handing to Aston. Big hole right there, nearly breaks away for Ben Hickson. Third and 1 now for Katy. They are 6 of 7 on third down so far today.
Watch out for Thompson right here. See if he gets out in the flat.
James Aston right up the gut.
Yep, power football.
That's right. Chris Sparks with the stop there, the senior linebacker, along with Michael Agnew making the stop for Southlake Carroll. All right, 3rd and 10 now for the 13th. The 17th play on this drive for Katy. They are 7 of 8 on third down conversions. Can they get another one here? The fake to Aston. Thompson looking. Touchdown, Katy Tigers. Chris Pedlar hauls it in the corner of the end zone. Pickup of 6, so 3rd and 4 now for Southlake Carroll at the 40-yard line. 3.5 to play here in the first half. Again, more pressure on Daniel.
Oh, fantastic catch. It's going to go for a loss. You're not going to see many catches, Randy, that go for a loss any better than that one. So for them, they're very content taking what the defense will give you. Try to find your wide receivers on the little out and curl routes and then keep hammering the running game.
Draw play to James Aston. Nobody home for Southlake Carroll. Bo Galbraith trying to haul him down. He misses. Knocks him out of bounds inside the 30-yard line at the 23 on a draw play from Jared Gayhart, who's now in at quarterback for the Katy Tigers. 3rd and 8 now for Katy. The fake to Aston, and he's going nowhere. Todd Bondi leading the charge for Southlake Carroll, along with number 31, Adam Hansen, the weak side linebacker for the Dragons. 12 seconds and counting now for Katy, trying to get this field goal off. No timeouts left. They'll mark it at the 25. This will be a 35-yard field goal if they get the snap off. And no, they don't.
Oh my. Well, Ben Johnson.
They failed to get the snap off. They hustled out Morgan Beckendorf. The field goal kicker for Katy was set up. No timeouts left. 120 and change in the first half today against Southlake Carroll. Ben Johnson, quarterback, dumps it out to Ryan Mouton. Mouton spins, picks up an extra 5 or 6 yards, brought down by Michael Agnew.
Converted one of those earlier in today's ball game. Let's see if Ben Johnson goes back to that well.
Receivers, Drew Zeiler top of your screen, Roy Scott bottom screen. Thompson going upstairs, and it is Drew Zeiler over his right shoulder and hauls that one in to the 10-yard line. All right, 3-back set. You've got Aston, you've got Stephen Greenlee, and you've got Brian Thompson. 4th and 1. Ben Johnson on the keeper, trying to get inside that 2-yard line. Gang tackled by Southlake Carroll. Ben Hickson leading the way.
Comes up, and boy, I think it's going to be very close.
He was looking for a block from Brian Thompson, and Brian Thompson was just a tad too late on that one. Here comes the change, and Southlake Carroll will hold him and take over at the 2.5-3-yard line. They'll punt it away. Garrett Hartley with the honors, and is blocked by Paul Thornton.
Ball goes out of the end zone. That'll be a safety.
Paul Thornton got his right hand on that one. Pressure on Garrett Hartley. And the Katy Tigers with a big break. 49-yard line. Johnson again pitches the hands to Aston. That is Todd Bondi. Nice hustle breaking through for the big stop.
And other than that, Chase Daniels' run a couple of plays ago of 12 yards is the longest play from scrimmage that Southlake has had.
Dragons D-held last time, can Katy's. Daniel gets loose, picks up an extra 5 before being stopped by Michael Parker. Good blocking in front of him on that play.
Well, right now, I think it's critical. It's first down, as you mentioned, 25 yards, but they've got to get some field position. Worst case, have Garrett Hartley in place to kick a field goal for him. Wow, look at Chase Daniel run the football.
He just kept spinning, got great blocking, and the fake to Aaron Luna. And Aaron Luna, second and 1 now from the 3. Luna over the top. Touchdown, Dragons. receivers out there for Southlake Carroll. Daniel looking for one of them, trying to find Gedwed, and he gets it. 2-point conversion is good for Southlake Carroll to come through in crunch time, and that was a huge series for Southlake Carroll as they kick it off. Fumbled football down the corner by Kevin Ledet. And that is not the mistake Mike Johnston wanted to see, as Southlake Carroll all over him to swarm Kevin Ledet, and Katy is backed up again inside their 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. A lot of success on third down plays for most of this one today. They need 4 to get a first down. Johnson over the middle, finds his tight end James Taylor.
He's not going to be there.
But Trevor Johnson meets him and says, "You're not going anywhere." 2nd and 7 from the 39. Daniel in the pocket looking over the middle. It's McKay Jacobson with the catch, and the big hit by Michael Parker and Johnny Musso. But he crosses the 50, and it's a first down for the Dragons. We'll see if he can knock it through. Snap, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. It's wide left, and Katy gets the football back. All right, 3rd down and 5, actually from the 33. Again, the draw to James Aston, big hole, gets some great blocking right there from James Taylor. James Aston down the right sideline, inside the 40-yard line of Southlake Carroll. 2nd and 15, now at the 49 after the penalty. Ben Johnson looking for Mouton, and he's got it! Ryan Mouton with separation and hauls it in from Ben Johnson, and the Katy Tigers have tied this football game 15-15 on the 51-yard TD strike from Johnson to Mouton.
Ryan Mouton's got so much speed that he just took it out and went all the way for the touchdown.
And the extra point is good from Morgan Beckendorf. And how about that? With 2:30 left, the Katy Tigers are back on top, 16-15 here in San Antonio. After that opening loss to Lufkin in week 1. Daniel, pressure, looking for Gedwed, not gonna get him. Will Thompson with the coverage. Will Thompson with the interception. The sophomore comes through with the big play with 1:22 left. 3 in the backfield, 1 in motion. Stephen Greenlee back there as well. They're going to hand to James Aston, and he crosses the 35 down to the 34-yard line, and a first down for the Katy Tigers.
Well, and that'll do it.
For their head coach, Mike Johnston, and their first since 2000 as Mike Johnston gets carried off.